Time to get up. And the adventure begins. So it's 5:40. Been up 40 minutes. Now heading to the bus, which is due to arrive in about 5 minutes time, maybe a little bit later. It's very quiet, apart from the birds. I've just seen a cat go, following the twerping. And here we are at the airport. 10-minute journey on the bus. Probably go further when you get off the plane and get on a bus at Gatwick to get to the terminal. But yeah, so here we go. Flight leaves in just over an hour. First flight away, 7 o'clock. Hopefully on time. Another hour to go. Maybe get away early. Just been through security, which went through quite good this time. Normally, sometimes Isle of Man security is the worst, the pettiest of things they pull you up for. I've actually got some tea bags, which I thought could be thought to be containing drugs and might have got me pulled in, but I'll show them later. Because I'm sick of going abroad and having horrible tea, so I thought I'd bring some tea bags with me this time. We'll see. So yeah, hopefully all set, ready to go. First leg of the journey about to begin. And here are the aforementioned tea bags. Will they get me into trouble? Will security somewhere along the way stop me and say, "Excuse me, sir, what are these?" It's just proper English tea bags, which I miss when I get drinking the foreign stuff or all that weedy stuff. But this isn't weed.
Been allocated to check-in. That's passengers travelling on Logan Air Flight KLM 681 to Liverpool. Seated in rows 1 to 9 only. Please conform for boarding 3.
Early calling.
All remain at seat row
Flight's on time. Jerusalem, here we come. Sun's coming up. First flight of the day about to take place. So we've landed at Liverpool, made it. It's about 7:45 now, that's like half an hour flight. Got a couple of hours until the next leg. Flying to Bucharest, first time going to Romania. The reason as well I'm kind of telling this story is because of the epic journey I made to Jerusalem last year, and hoping that maybe it might be, well, not hoping, recording in case it might be a similar experience this time, but we'll see. Anyway, another plane to catch, leaving in a couple of hours. We're fourth on the list. Time for a breakfast, should set me up for the day. Well, it will set me up for the day. So yeah, off to Bucharest with Wizz Air next. I'll eat my breakfast and I'll tell you a little bit more about the journey. Or why I'm recording the journey soon. So here we go, on time. Next stop, Bucharest. Farewell, Liverpool. It's a packed flight. So here we are, we've arrived in Bucharest. No idea what time it is. Great, they've got transit signs, so it means I should be able to connect onto my next leg, which should be Tel Aviv. So Yeah, last time I tried to get to Tel Aviv, I needed a PCR test before I left Vienna, and then I needed a PCR test when I arrived in Tel Aviv. It was all, oh, it was mental, because I didn't know I needed a PCR test before I left Vienna, so they wouldn't let me board the plane in Vienna, and because of that I missed my flight. And then I had to have a PCR test. I had to wait for the results for that to come through, which flight was like 7 in the morning, so got my PCR test about 9, waited for the results, which came through about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and I then, because I didn't know what the result of that PCR test would be, I then waited until, making sure I'm not past transit here, I waited until transit down here. There we are. Well, that's interesting, because transit's down there, but the escalator's going up. We'll come back to this. Well, I should have filmed that, because I've just come down. It was the only way to get down here, and up escalator. But I found international transfer. Let's see if this exists. So I better stop filming in case I get into trouble, but here we go. This apparently is transit. This is not as smooth as I was hoping it would be, so we'll see. I've never seen the transfer queue like this before. But anyway, wish me luck. So we've just been moved around the corner. There's about 200, 300 people trying to get through here. The amazing thing is, they're all men. There's not a single woman. Well, there might be one or two, but I don't know. They're all about the same age. I don't know where they've come from or where they're going to, but I don't even go to the toilet, because I'm sure this queue will get even bigger. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'll provide a further update again soon. Well, that was incredible. I've just come through security, through transit. My flight's showing there at 5 o'clock departure, and it's already 4 o'clock. And if I'd have stayed in that queue, I would have missed that flight. There was about 300, and I noticed for some reason most of them seem to have Moldovan passports, so I don't know if they're fleeing Moldova or whatever, but it was, yeah, incredible really. But so anyway, the good thing is I should be able to, as long as it's on time, it's showing on time, I should be on my way to Tel Aviv in about an hour. Had I not, oh, that was one thing amazing. And also, while I'm talking about it, amazingly, I've skipped passport control. No one's, oh, the guy, I went and spoke to one of the officials and explained my situation. He looked at my boarding card and my passport, didn't check if it was stamped, and I just came through. And amazingly as well, all I had to do was take out my laptop. All my other liquids, everything, all stayed in the bag. So yeah, it was quite an amazing experience really. So anyway, I knew this journey would come up with a few little bits and pieces. We'll reflect on it later perhaps, but yeah, there we go. Next stop, Tel Aviv. So we're at gate 14 at Bucharest Airport. The flight's going at 5 and there's no plane there yet at 14, so it's going in about just under an hour, so it's got 10-15 minutes to get here, the inbound. So hopefully we'll get away on time. Still got the joy of getting to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv once I land. Last year I got there so late that I had to take a late bus that I couldn't pay for because they wouldn't accept cards or cash. That's another story. And then taxis would only accept cash. I didn't have cash. I haven't got cash now. I must get cash when I land at Tel Aviv. So who knows what's going to happen this evening. I mean, I should be able to get there in time for the train and get a train to Jerusalem, but then I'll still need to get a taxi to the hotel, which I'll need money for. But hopefully it won't be at 2 o'clock in the morning like it was last time. Just interesting enough as well, when we landed at Bucharest, nearly the whole plane clapped, even though it wasn't rough. I don't think there was many British passengers on board. And then we were taxiing for so long, people started getting up and getting their bags. And I had to get told, it was funny, one got up and nearly everyone, half the plane got up to get their bags down when the seatbelt signs were still showing. And anyway, they got told off and had to sit. Oh yeah, anyway. It's turned into a little bit of an interesting trip now, so we'll see how things go. So, a little add-on. I'm not going to film me talking, I'm just going to film my surroundings. But this part of the airport, there's no Wi-Fi. If you want Wi-Fi at Bucharest Airport, I have to go down to the food court. So I'm just going to have to struggle on without not being connected to the rest of the world for now. Yay! Our plane has just arrived, thankfully. So yeah, looks like we should be able to get away on time. And because I'm going to Israel, I decided I'd better eat this now instead of on that flight.
My dear, may I have your attention, please? Is Mr. Sofer Liad is on board. I repeat.
So just while they do this announcement,
Mr. Sofer
about to take off, hopefully for Tel Aviv. We should have gone 5 minutes ago, but as it is, with people, air passengers, if only they got on planes as quickly as they got off them, then we'd be on time. But it's incredible. It's been half an hour trying to get people boarding and just standing there in the middle of the island. Anyway, so hopefully we'll be in the air soon. Let's just hope we haven't missed our slot. Tel Aviv, next stop. So just landed about 25 minutes ago at Tel Aviv airport, and now the joy of passport control. I was here for nearly 2 hours last year, and thankfully there seems to be more booths operating, or rather, I'm not too sure. Last year they had one booth operating, it took forever to get through, and I can't see what's going on here. There's so many people queuing, it's going to be, could be a while before I get through. So, fingers crossed. Already lost my rag with someone coming through. Great. Passport control took about half an hour. Bursting for the loo, and this area here, this is where they did all the PCR testing last year. In fact, I did my snort just around here, and I'll tell you more about that later, because first I need the loo, and now I'm going to hopefully try and catch a train to Jerusalem, and I need to get some cash because the taxis won't take cards in Israel. It's a bit of a third world country in some respects. So, train's coming in 10 minutes supposedly, take me to Jerusalem. Managed to get a ticket okay. Took out 100 shekels to pay for taxis when I get to Jerusalem to get to the hotel. And I suppose any shekels left over I could heckle for a gourd, perhaps. Anyway, so here we are at the station. I might as well tell you what happened last year then. So basically, flying from Vienna, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was meant to have, I wasn't aware that I had to have a PCR test before I flew into Israel, because I'd already booked a PCR test for when I landed at Israel, so I couldn't get on the plane for Vienna. I had to wait until I had a PCR test in Vienna, then wait for the results. They came through about 1 o'clock, then I booked a flight from Vienna to Tel Aviv via Istanbul. Got here very late last year, let's say it was almost 2 hours through border control. Tonight there was about 7 officers on it, so we got through about half an hour, almost 2 hours last year, with 1 officer on duty. So I missed the train last year, ended up having to get a bus. The bus wouldn't take a credit card or cash. You had to have like a travel card, which you couldn't buy. I couldn't buy one. It was just crazy. So in the end, thankfully, there was also, I remember a young girl, she was on some pilgrimage or some daft bloody stupid bloody thing. She couldn't speak any English or Hebrew, and so she had cash. She was going to pay. I said I'd pay for a ticket, and we tried to pay online. That was it. We tried to pay online. The Wi-Fi was rubbish on the bus, so in the end the bus driver just let us go. Then landed up at got to The taxi rank didn't have money. They wouldn't take they'd only take cash, wouldn't take a card. Got to the hotel. Thankfully, the night porter paid my taxi for me. I had to pay him when I left. But yeah, so it was an absolute nightmare last year. Not too bad so far. Just that little hiccup going through a moment ago. So train is due at 20:56, which is in around about 7 minutes time. So hopefully, fingers crossed, all being well, I'll soon be on a train, and it'll take about 50 minutes to get to the hotel. Right on time, train has arrived. Next stop, Jerusalem, hopefully. Just hope I can get a drink on board. And there goes the taxi. So picked it up from the train station, told him I was coming here. He said, yeah, 70 shekels. Then as we went halfway through the journey, he said, no, it's going to be 100 shekels. Good job I took out 100 shekels. Anyway, we're at the hotel, so it's now, what, 10 o'clock local time, 8 o'clock, so that's been 15 hours travelling. I need a beer.